Hi there, it's Chris Hamilton here with Sales Tip a Day, www.salestipaday.com. And today I'm going into tip number 2 of the 5 ways to generate business on LinkedIn. And this is called the Digital Referral. It's a course that I actually teach, but here's a scaled down version of this that should be able to help you out. So first of all, it's not who you know. It's who you know and who they are connected to on LinkedIn that's going to create the greatest opportunities for you. So what do I mean? So in this case, I went onto LinkedIn and I searched on VP sales or vice president sales on my first level connections. And I came up in Calgary where I live, and I came up with 10 people that have that title. Now, when I add second level connections in, it basically went from 10 to 206, which is a 20-fold increase. So think about this for a sec, is that, I can go after these 10 people that I know if I'm selling into vice presidents of sales. But if I'm selling into a wider audience, the best way to do is to leverage referrals into that second level to get access to almost 20 times more potential opportunities. So how do you do this? Well, in this case, when you click on or when you look at someone's profile in the search results on LinkedIn, just below their name, it shows you if you have any shared connections, if they're a second level contact. And a second level contact is someone who's connected to somebody that you know, but they're not directly connected to you. So in this case, what LinkedIn does is it brings up the first 3 results that I think is the best way for you to get in the door with into this person. Now, if you don't know any of these people, then what you can do is down below that, you can click and see all the shared results you have if you have more than 3. And it brings it up into a page on LinkedIn where you can scroll through and find different people and see if there's a better way that you might be able to get in, or someone who you know a lot better that will make that introduction for you. Now, once you do that and you find that person, what you do is you reach out to them. And when you reach out to them, what you do is I send it in an email. I don't send it through LinkedIn. And I ask for help. So the first line I have when I'm sending it out to someone I know that's trying to introduce me into that second level connection, I put in, "Can you help me out?" And then I put, "Hello," whatever their name is. "Hope all is well. I was hoping you could help me out. I'm taking a new solution to different companies right now, and I was hoping that you can help me out by making an introduction to this person at this company. My solution helps companies like this by doing whatever this benefit is. Do you know this person well enough to introduce me?" And when I say person, you just put their name in there, obviously. "If so, here's an intro you can use." And so what I've done is I've created an introduction email that this person can take, copy, paste, and send out to their connection. And the reason I do that is because that creates a path of least resistance. They don't have to think about what they're going to write, what they're going to do, anything like that. You've dumbed it right down for them and said, "Here's what it is. Please use this and feel free to send this out to this person." So your opportunities are going to be greater because you don't have to have someone figuring out what to say for you and how to do that for you. So why do you want to do this? First of all, LinkedIn says that 76% of B2B buyers prefer to work with people that have come through a recommendation. Now, the Word of Mouth Marketing Association says only 11% of salespeople have a formalized referral process. And in the same report, they also say that 65% of sales are either done through referrals or word of mouth. Think about this for a sec. 89% of salespeople are going after 65% of sales. Tell you where I'd want to be actually working, and that's got to be through referrals. Now, referrals also close at 2 times the normal rate. An average sale typically closes at 25%. A referred sale typically will close at 50%. So you're doing double the rate. Now, referred sales also spend more money with you, and they close in up to a quarter of the time. And the reason they close at a fraction of the time is the fact that you're leveraging someone's already built-in trust with an individual to shorten that sell cycle to get in the door. And then the other thing too is you could book 2 to 4 times more meetings with better qualified buyers if you're reaching out and getting those referrals. Now, if you start tying all this together, so if you're the 11% of sales or salespeople going after 65% of sales, that's closing at double the rate in a quarter of the time, literally what you're doing is you're putting a leverage factor in place of about 120 times greater than if you're a salesperson who is not going after referrals. So even if you're 5 times, 10 times greater, that's a huge opportunity for you as well. So I'll give you my results. So typically what happens is when I reach out to people, and ask for an introduction, I get about 30% that are going to introduce me into that person that I've asked them to get an introduction into. Now, of those 30%, I usually get about a 15% engagement, and that means it's a 15% overall success rate. So literally, I get 30 on 100. I get 50% of those into an engagement, which means 15, which is a 15% overall success rate. Now, cold calling, a study based on a Baylor University and also IBM says cold calling's successful between about 0.3 to about 2% of the time, or flip it around, is 98% of the time on greater, it's completely ineffective. So if you're actually picking up the phone and cold calling and not doing something like I've just talked about here, then you're absolutely crazy, and I'll tell you why. The approach that I use is up to 50 times greater than cold calling. So I've got a 50 times greater success rate than if you're picking up the phone and cold calling. So if you want to find out more about this, I run regularly scheduled courses on LinkedIn and how to leverage this digital referral process. There's a lot more to it than just this. And if you want to find out more, reach out to me, chris@salestipaday.com, or else reach out on my phone in North America at 403-630-1243. And I'd be more than happy to talk to you and guide you and put you in the right direction.